It was unlikely that, somewhere back in Florida, Serena Williams was shedding a tear as Maria Sharapova was resoundingly sent packing from the Australian Open. Hours before, the 30-year-old Russian was dumped out in just 64 minutes by the resurgent Angelique Kerber. One of Williams' many fans on Twitter posted lightheartedly that she might be siding with Sharapova in this much-anticipated third-round match. Williams, who has been active on social media lately, went to the trouble of a reply with a simple emoji of a blank face, which told you where her loyalties lay. Angelique Kerber celebrates her Australian Open victory over Maria Sharapova on Saturday. It was a sobering night for Sharapova as her hopes of a triumphant slam return were dashed by the time Sharapova plays in her next Grand Slam. The French Open, it is likely Williams will be back from her maternity leave and hunting a 24th major title. The chance to win one in her absence seems to have come and gone for the moment. Prior to this encounter, the Russian spoke of it being a good test for where she is, so a cursory 6-1 6-3 defeat does not tell an uplifting story. She broke back from 0-2 down in the second set and had a break point to get ahead. But otherwise the door was slammed shut by a very impressive and aggressive performance from the German. Kerber has good memories here from 2016, when she pulled off a remarkable win in the final against Williams. For Sharapova, the tournament 2 years ago represented other things, for it was here that she gave a urine sample which proved positive for meldonium. Sharapova congratulates Kerber on her 6-1 6-3 victory in Melbourne on Saturday night. The ensuing 15-month absence was followed by a hip injury which kept her out of Wimbledon, and she has probably not played enough matches yet to recapture her former heights. One problem has been staying healthy when having to play a volume of matches in a short space of time. That is why Grand Slams, with a rest day in between, in some ways offers her the best chance of getting some serious momentum going. As it is, since coming back halfway through Stuttgart's Porsche Grand Prix in April, hardly endearing herself to other players, she has missed Wimbledon, made the last 16 of the US Open and now the third round here. Sharapova pledged that her appetite for working to get back to the top is undimmed, saying, "I usually look forward to resting in the first week of November, so I've got a long way to go until then. If I'm looking for rest at this point in the season, there's something wrong." Sharapova, whose ban came to an end last April, still looks short of top-level match practice. Sharapova lost the first set in just 29 minutes and the match was wrapped up in 64 minutes. "In the first set, I didn't return well. I gave her the confidence by making a lot of errors on the return games. I think with that, she played extremely well. She's a confident player at the moment. A lot of things were going her way throughout the match. The one little opportunity I had in the second set, I didn't take, I made an error. Sometimes that's all it takes," said Sharapova, slightly skimming over such a comprehensive outcome. It is fair to point out that she did have a brutal draw, facing her US Open conqueror Anastasia Sevastova in the second round, and then one of the recent form players of the tour in the third. Kerber, who had a miserable time coping with the demands of being world number 1 last year, has hired Wim Fissette, the coach Joe Conto parted with at the end of last season. It looked a curious decision then from the British number 1. And is looking an even more curious one after the last few days. Kerber was consistently excellent throughout the contest and advanced comfortably. Together they have claimed Conto's Sydney International title already this season and she looks the favourite to make the final from the top half of the draw here. She is the only Grand Slam champion left in the women's tournament. For a long while it seemed the Australian Open might lose its top seed as well, as Simona Halep earlier went toe-to-toe with the unheralded, diminutive American Lauren Davis for 3 hours and 44 minutes. In an epic encounter between two of the best movers on the tour, it was as unpredictably brilliant as the Sharapova match was a non-event. The world number 76 had 3 straight match points before losing 4-6, 6-4, 15-13 in what was the joint longest women's match here in the modern era.